Every day we make decisions. Some are small, some are important, and some can change the direction of our lives. But before we make any decision, something else happens first. We notice, we interpret, and we begin forming an understanding of what is happening. And the quality of that awareness can influence the decisions that follows, which raises an important point. How much of a situation do we actually notice before we decide what to do? Because we're rarely working with the entire picture. We're working with part of the picture, the part that we can see. And sometimes what we notice is just as important as what we don't notice. A missing detail, a different perspective, and a piece of information that hasn't been considered. Any of these could change the decision that we make. And that is where awareness begins to matter. Awareness creates space, a small distance between what happens and what we do next. Without that space, reaction can happen almost automatically. Something happens, we feel something, and then we respond. But awareness introduces another possibility, the possibility of observing before reacting. Even a small pause can give us time to see things differently. And one of the things we may begin to notice is our own emotional state. Emotion influences what we notice. Fear can draw attention towards danger. Anger can draw attention towards something that feels unfair. Excitement can draw attention towards opportunity. None of those emotions are automatically wrong. They may be telling us something that is important. But when an emotion becomes strong, it can narrow our attention. One of the part of the picture that becomes extremely clear, while another part of the picture becomes harder to see. Awareness allows us to ask, what am I feeling right now? And how might that feeling be shaping what I'm noticing? That doesn't mean ignoring emotion, it means adding another layer of information. Better awareness helps us see more of the picture. Not necessarily all of it, but more. We may notice our assumptions, our emotional state, the information we're missing, or another possible explanation. And sometimes, one additional piece of information can completely change how a situation looks. The situation may not have changed, but our understanding of it has. And when understanding changes, our options can change too. When we're reacting quickly, our options can feel limited. Fight, leave, agree, disagree. But awareness can reveal choices that weren't immediately visible. Maybe we need more information. Maybe we may need to wait. Maybe we need to ask better questions. Or maybe the first reaction that we had was actually correct. But awareness doesn't automatically change the answer. Sometimes it confirms it. But now the decision has been examined. And that's an important distinction. Awareness doesn't mean analyzing everything forever. That's not clarity. And it doesn't mean becoming afraid to make decisions. The goal isn't perfect certainty, because perfect certainty is rarely available. The goal is to create enough awareness to make the best decision you can with the information that is available. And then you move because eventually thinking has to become action, which brings us to the practical side of awareness. Before an important decision, try asking yourself a few questions. What is really happening? What am I feeling? What might I be missing? What information would change my mind? You may not see every question or need every question every time. Sometimes one good question is enough to interrupt an automatic reaction, and that interruption can create room for a better decision, which brings us back to why awareness matters. Awareness doesn't guarantee that every decision will be right. We're human, we'll make mistakes, there will be misunderstandings. Occasionally, we will miss important information, but awareness can improve the process that produces our decisions. It can help us notice more, question assumptions, recognize emotional influence, and see options that weren't visible before. And when the process improves, the quality of our decisions has a chance to improve with it. Because better decisions often begin with better awareness.